last time we chatted, we talked about, I think you had done 1 season at that point.
Yes.
And you've done 2 more since, right?
Yes.
And you're prepping for a 4th.
Correct.
Hey!
Correct.
Tell me about it. Go ahead, tell me about it.
So it's not necessarily, I mean, it's not guaranteed. You know, every time you submit a video, it's not guaranteed that they're going to call you back. You just like train like as if they're going to call you back. And so last season was in St. Louis, and it was 2020 season, which made it like really cool because they only brought back, if I'm not mistaken, it was 150 competitors.
Like wild card setup?
No, they like handpicked the athletes that they wanted to bring back. So it was.
So did that like, how did that make you feel hearing about that?
Oh man, I like felt so blessed and just like grateful that, you know, I was one of those competitors. So this season, what made it so unique is because normally if the season was ran like before, you know, pre-COVID, where you have all your regions, right? And then you have to like compete and be the top to go to Vegas so you can compete with the top of the top in Vegas. A lot of them I would never have gotten to meet, you know, just that simple, you know, because it's just too many regions. And for this season, I got to like rub shoulders with like all the top athletes. Like we all stayed in the same hotel. So it just was like such a beautiful experience because I got to meet and get to know these athletes that I never would have ever like crossed paths with, aside from just knowing of them, like knowing who their name, you know, something simple like that.
So and is there like a specific individual that stands out the most that you like, you found yourself in their presence and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, like if there was one specific individual?
I would say it is, man, that's really hard. That's hard. That's really hard. But one person that I really got to like sit down, have a conversation with, get to know on a personal level, in a sense. Like, I mean, we weren't like going in depth, like talking about like our past, you know, life and things like that, but just like literally like just having casual conversation and like really just building that rapport. I would say it was Naj, the Flying Phoenix. He is a cool cat, man. I can definitely see and understand why he has the influence that he has. You know, like everything that we talked about, he was just passionate about it, you know, and it was, you know, coming from a very genuine and humble place. And everything that he talked about, you know, we got to talking, whatever the conversation was, you know, like you can tell whatever it is that he talks about, he knows what he's talking about. Like he's not just making stuff up, you know, he's not just pulling stuff out the air, you know, and things like that. And then on top of that, it's just like he just down to earth, you know. I was like, gosh, you know, like it felt good to know, like, okay, this is a top athlete on American Ninja Warrior, one of the top athletes, right?
Right next to your shoulders.
Yes. And to know, like, okay, because I was asking, I was like, hey, you know, like, do you ever get nervous before you go run? Do you ever, you know, like, have any kind of feelings? Like, what do you do to help you kind of like zone in and like keep your composure when you're out there? Because when you're doing it look like it's effortless, you know. And he was like, yes, I get freaking nervous, you know. I'm like, you know,
so
he
humanizes himself.
Yes, that's the word. Yes, he definitely, because, you know, like you see all these great athletes, you know. It's just like when you watch a movie of your favorite actor, you know, and they make the character and like their role that they play look so effortless and everything, and at the end of the day you come and you realize, like, okay, they're still, you lose your sense of like knowing that they are people still at the end of the day, you know. And so that was what my experience with him was like. Just what you said, like, he's human. He humanized himself. He let me know, like, yes, I get nervous too still, you know, although I'm basically a vet on the show. Like, I I gotta do these kind of things. I gotta do this and this, like, to help me, zone in and like get game ready at the end of the day. So it was just cool to know, like, they feel that way too. Like, it's not just me, it's them too. So
you also chatted about how you wanted to be an influence.
correct.
So how are you doing with that? Because I know that you have your personal aspirations and passion, and you're going to America. And mind you, if I went back through everything that you just said, you explained yourself, and I asked you to look for someone else. And it seems, right? I'm going to be very articulate. I don't know you. I understand data. And based off of your history, you're on your 1, 2, 3, 4th. So you might as well be one of the top athletes that somebody else in their first year is rubbing shoulders with you, and they're viewing you like you're viewing Naj. Do you get that?
Yeah, I get what you said.
It's an interesting perspective. It seems that you're on your path. Last time we chatted, you were in season 1.
Right.
Now you're working on season 4, and it's funny because you said it's not guaranteed, right?
Correct.
But you said that at the end of season 1.
True.
And you're on the 4th one. So it's so cool to see that, like, obviously with the process of tuning, you have multiple instruments within yourself as Quest. Your body physically, your mind when you think, and when you breathe, and when you speak. There are all these different things, right?
Correct.
So you're getting the idea. My intention is to pinpoint your speaking more than anything else, because that's the only data that I can objectively collect, because I will never be inside here. I can only objectively listen on how you have a communication pattern with you. My job that I have placed within myself is to find a way to assist you to better your self-talk. So that next season, when you go to season 4 and season 5, it's not guaranteed. I'm so excited for the first season guy to come in, and I get to set the influence, because Quest, that's where you are now. It's a reality. Because remember in season 1, when we were chatting, you wanted to be the influence. You chatted with me about where you came from in your childhood, and how you aspired to be in the WNBA and all these things. But aspiration was just a stepping stone, and you continue to triple and triple and triple. And now here you are. The reality, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that, as you said, you're a vet.
You're correct.
I didn't say it.
Like I
did it. I quoted you. You said that. You said, I'm a vet. I'm a vet on the show. So that's good. How is it, again, wrap back, how is it with the influence? How do you feel? What experiences? Because you just told me about, that was great with Naj. Now, who are you with other people? Tell me some more experiences about that.
So it was like people from the show, or just in life in general?
Anything.
So
because it's all going to bleed over. It's all, go ahead.
Yeah, so like some experiences outside of like I guess like Ninja Warriors. Basically, so Ninja Warrior created this platform for me now, and now it has opened up eyes. It has opened up the eyes of the people that are watching me now. And so when I run into, this person that has known that I've been on the show, or didn't know I was on the show, and then the conversation came up, it's like mind blowing to see, okay, these people now think that, hey, they now think, okay, it's no longer me meeting Quest, my server, my bartender, my waiter, or whatever, or me meeting Quest, a random person I ran into in the convenience store, me meeting Quest at the gym type stuff. Is now like, okay, now I met Quest, an athlete that has been on American Ninja Warrior, and now I see how humble she is, or how much of just a quote unquote regular person she is, versus me coming at them first and being like, hey, I'm a Ninja Warrior athlete, and then their persona toward me, their interaction toward me is totally different. Am I making sense?
You do.
So,
and so with explaining that, how like everything just shifted, right? We
correct.
chatted about this. Your body language shifted, your eyes shifted. You're in a different passion than what you were talking about with American Ninja Warrior.
Correct.
And you feel that too.
Yeah.
But it's you're on fire right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like a kid in the candy store when you take them into the candy store, and then like a legit candy store, and they see all these options of candies, and then you just see how their eyes just like light up. And that's what happens when I meet these people, whoever they may be, and then this conversation comes out, and then they grow to know who I am, and then you see that twinkle in their eyes like that.
And they see you as the word that we use. You've been humanized now.
Yes.
They come in, and I'm going to use the word graduated, okay? You said you referred to yourself as quest to server, quest to this, quest to that. And then you shifted, and now I'm quest to athlete.
Correct.
Quest to American Ninja Warrior. And it brings you into a different, ultimately, when I ask you that question, self-talk. You're speaking about yourself differently.
Right.
When we chatted about when you were doing American Ninja Warrior, you had a trainer and you were holding yourself accountable.
Correct.
We talked about how you held yourself accountable in American Ninja or in basketball.
Uh-huh.
And we also talked about how you held yourself accountable when you were a child. And you looked at your surroundings and you said, I could go this way in this area that I live in and the demographic in my environment, or I could choose another route and propel myself out.
Correct.
And you made a choice yourself, right?
Right.
And you had a rhythm, and you found it and you accomplished it, and then you repeated it. And this is the process, right?
Right.
You've continuously hopped from whatever it is that you feel that's beneficial and passionate for yourself in that chapter in your life, and you've continually just trickled down and replicate over and over and over again.
Correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but now your basketball was a stepping stone. And if it becomes something else, it becomes something else.
Mm-hmm.
You have focuses that you've made clear to yourself and you're passionate about.
Right.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, how is your relationship with basketball now?
Basketball.
And be honest. Like,
yeah.
This is not a competitive question in any way. I know you use
right. So I still
literally, yeah.
So I still like basketball. My relationship with basketball is still a beautiful thing. That was my first love. That was my reason to live. That was my motivation to just keep going. And ultimately, it will always be my relationship with basketball will always be nothing but the utmost great relationship that anybody can ever ask for, because it was the thing that I chose to put myself in, and knew that if I stayed with it, stayed consistent with it, and really gave it my all, I knew that is what was going to take me out of my current situation, and then ultimately be the key to helping me further my life in general, and the goals bigger than basketball, so it was no longer trying to go to the WNBA, but now I'm becoming a woman. I'm being introduced into adulthood. So now I need to make these adult decisions and know, like, okay, what do I want to get my degree in? What do I see my further passion being? Now it's no longer like being a basketball player for the rest of my life, but I have life that I have to live, and with life comes responsibility. So that was all it was. That's what it is. And like right now, somebody was like to call me up and be like, hey, Quest, you want to go play basketball? If I got time, I'm like, heck yeah, let's go hoop, or I was just finished with the SAC basketball league. It was a co-ed team. We ended up being champions, you know, like we went undefeated during the season.
Look at you. You're like, no big deal. Like,
Yeah, like
it's okay.
yeah,
You're like, I'm on my 4th season, no big deal. Like, and then I
Yeah.
just won it. Like, I won this championship. Like, no big deal.
Like,
They
it
can't
just,
grade
you
my
know,
name on the trophy.
I'm not trying to boast or anything like that.
No,
it's
it's what you said. It's humble. It's it.
That's all it is.
That's why you threw your arms up, because at this point, your perspective and relationship with it was like, I'm just hooping, y'all.
That's it.
That's it, right?
That's
you just
it. Yeah.
I just came in to play and wait a second, we won?
Right, exactly. You know, I mean, I went into the game
Yeah.
with the teammates. I mean, and it was a co-ed team, so it was just I don't know what to expect, you know. And shook, and we came out winning every time, and I was just like, all right, so we actually are pretty good. I never played with them before, and we just kind of meshed, and that's what makes it awesome.
Tell me about that, because that's really interesting. How did that all work out? You never played with them before. You show up, y'all win the championship. Like, what happened?
Yeah, like I you know, I never, previous to moving to San Antonio, these co-ed leagues and stuff like that, I just knew that I didn't know that they were even a thing. I didn't know it was existing. And then coming to San Antonio, finding out about these a league that has all of these different sports that people can participate in. So just like being a part of the community, I played flag football on a co-ed team with a mutual ninja friend of mine. I actually played with his brother, and then he, you know, found out like how athletic I was and all that kind of stuff, and because he had heard of me through my ninja friend. So it was just like the Ninja Warrior community connected me with this dude that plays in this co-ed league, and then we played flag football a couple of years together, and then this season came along and it was like, hey, we have a basketball team. We need a girl. Do you want to play? And I was like, heck yeah, I don't have nothing else to do. So then I came and played with him in basketball. I didn't even know he knew how to play basketball. So I went and played and met his friend that they played, you know, sand volleyball together. And then next thing I knew, we ended up being really good. And it was just like it just worked out like that. And then, you know, moving on throughout the season, it really turned out awesome. I mean, it was completely unexpected out of nowhere. And then next thing I know, we win a championship game. So, you know, I was like, heck yeah.
I really appreciate this. Like, you have no, I mean, you do. I think you have an idea.
I do have an idea.
I really am. I'm just so grateful.
Yeah. We gotta keep in contact, because I definitely want to see like where this goes for you. This is really cool what you do. The first conversation that we ever had, when we really like got in depth and you did the whole questions and like really had me sit and think about stuff. I mean, a lot of people do not have that that awareness on what it is that initially, like, I guess, got the wheels turning to get them to even want to start something in the first place. A lot of people just think like, okay, I just see it, or I just like, out of nowhere decided that this is what I want to do. And then so they just do it, and if they like it, they stick with it. If not, they leave it, you know. But so what you did with me and had me really sit and think, I didn't really put two and two together when you like, what made you want to do Ninja Warrior, and then went back in a timeline. When you did that timeline thing with me, like till this day that sticks with me. They like really made me sit and think like way back, like, okay, I figured this was something, not Ninja Warrior per se, but the calisthenics world, like body weight, like training and just being an athlete in that sense, was something that eventually I was gonna circle back to, because when I was a child, how I watched the karate, you know, videos and watched the backflips and like self-teaching myself how to do those, like going way back to that stuff like that. That was really cool, like, cause that was really cool. I never would have just put that in my head, like that was something that was almost in a sense destined for me to be a part of, you know, like not knowing how it was going to be a part of my life, but it was going to be a part of some form, shape, action, you know. So definitely, like, what you're doing is awesome. I can't wait to see what the future brings for you, my man, because you got a good concept and a good thing going on. So definitely, if there's anything I can do to help you out to make that, to help level you up.
Done enough. This video is so much. Oh my god.
Heck yeah. Don't hesitate. Reach out, man. Reach out for sure. So,
Thank you.
but yeah, I just want to share that with you for sure.
Thank you. Oh my
You're welcome.
gosh, thank you. Wow. I'm just like, when you start talking, I can look at my lip, look at my arm, look at how goosebumps my arm.
Got goosebumps, so I know.